Hey there guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do a simple clear on Anthemoessa using no modifiers. This is for you to either get through the ranks and get your first time clear rewards, or for you to like farm tickets, etc. Now this is going to be a turn 3 clear and we'll go over why in a moment, but before we get into it I will mention, as far as posting more videos for high rank clears, I'm going to be trying it some more this weekend, trying to optimize different parties, etc., trying to get, better teams going. I don't have a ton of time on Fridays to do Brave Exvius, so therefore I've not really fooled with it much since yesterday. But over the weekend, I'm going to be trying to get some better teams in. My day 1 team, I don't feel like is the best option. I need time to, figure out better options. But for this clear, now we can just leave no modifiers on. That is the whole purpose of this. But we can go ahead and turn on boss attack and party elemental resist down, because those aren't really going to influence the clear. It's basically free real estate. It's extra points. Why not turn them on? The rest of the mods, though, don't fool with for a quick clear. Now this is the party we're going to use. Now you can definitely swap things around. We're going to be going for a turn 3 clear, because on turn 1 and 2 the boss has unremovable mitigation, and on turn 3 we're going to OTK the boss. Now we're going to be using Dark Rain and Ibarra for our damage dealers. Now I do know those are premiums, those are a little bit high end, even though they are kind of older. But you can use any basically dark or fire element units you want. You can also use off elements with imbues. For example, you could use like Richt and 2B, and then you could do Melissa's Ramping Amplify, etc. But you want to, if possible, stick to dark or fire for your damage dealers. But again, use any damage dealers you want. You can use like Dwayne and Flaring Rain, etc., etc. We're going to go with this party, and I'll show you the gear and all at the end. And I'm going to go over what the boss does turn by turn, so you can build your own team. Now, during the ambush, the boss is going to buff herself with all kind of buffs, and these are all unremovable. The defense and spirit can be removed, they can be dispelled, but the mitigation cannot be, and that's why we're going for a turn 3 clear. Now, on turn 1, the boss is going to do 2 AoE physical attacks and 6 single target physical attacks on the highest defense target. The boss will also use AoE stop and sleep, and keep in mind we are status imperiled, so you need a status immunity buff as well as gear to be immune to the sleep. Now, there's 2 options to deal with turn 1. You can either imbue the boss with like Melissa, Malphase, Kresnik, and then the boss will deal 0 damage on turn 1, which is one way to do it. Or you can just Mirage and sacrifice someone, and we're going to do it that way. We're going to use Sylvie to Mirage the party with defense, then we're going to do offense, and we're going to do Compassionate to... Compassionate is going to give us stop and sleep immunity. Now Cecil has the highest defense. He's going to take the single target and he's going to just die. So on the Phoenix Esper, we're going to use Phoenix Guard to re-raise himself. He's going to take the attack, die, come back, not a problem. And Cecil gave us the LB damage field. Now Renoa is going to do Diablos for the Diablos Imperil field. We'll use Coralie to break the boss in Dark Imperil. We'll use Dark Rain to start setting up with One and Only Ruler. And then we'll use the base form LB of Ibarra for the killers and the Katana Imperil. Okay, so here comes the AoE physical. We're going to Mirage it. The single target physical, Cecil is going to take it and re-raise. And then the AoE stop and sleep, we're not worried about it. We're immune. So there we go with the buff. Okay, on turn 2, the boss is going to do 4 AoE magic attacks and 6 single target magic attacks against the highest spirit target. Then the boss is going to use AoE Confusion and Petrify. So once again, Cecil will just take one for the team. We're just going to cover with him. We'll go ahead and use, we'll do Omni Cover. We'll do Shelga and re-raise on himself. And there we go. So Sylvie on this turn is going to shift and just do her shifted LB for the stat buff. Rain will start getting ready, so we're going to go ahead and do Elemental Burst Dark, Fear of the Ultimate Power, and then double Magic Boost. Coralie will shift here, and now he's using by the way his Dark Whip, so he's already imbued with Dark. So we'll just with Coralie, we'll do Fill LB, we'll do Dark Knight's Whip, and in order to actually wrong one, nope, I don't use Coralie that much. We're going to do Fill LB, Drowning, Punishment, and we'll just use a Dark Attack on the boss to seal the boss. Renoa on this turn, honestly, can literally do whatever. Here, we can also do a Dark Attack with her just to seal the boss. Boom, done. Now, Ibarra is going to do a Noon to imbue herself. We're going to do AoE Human Killer with Jinmetsu, and then we're going to do Tsukayukyo as the last action. And now the boss will do some AoE magic attacks. It'll either kill Cecil or it won't. It doesn't really matter if Cecil dies. We can also use any tank you want. He died, who cares? Whatever, re-raises, doesn't matter, he's done, whatever we need. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and kill the boss. Before we do, Sylvie is going to do Poached Demon on Dark Rain for the bigger killer. Ibarra's already got 250 to all the killers. We're going to do I've Got Your Back on Ibarra just to give her bigger LB damage, and then doesn't really matter what else. Dark Rain can use his SLB. Ibarra can do the Shifted LB. And for support chaining, we'll do the Shifted LB of Coralie, and then Renoa will triple Darkra, which is Bolting Strike, and we will chain with Coralie. So we're going to go ahead and click Dark Rain first, then we're going to click the rest. So Dark Rain, wait just a second, then click the rest, and that should be the end of the boss. The boss has 3 billion HP. As you saw, Ibarra by herself did 3.6. Didn't even need Dark Rain. But, oh my god, we did 5.8. Yeah, so that's just to demonstrate in case you don't have quite as good gear or you're not using as good of a DPS. That's going to be your clear. So now, not the quickest for farming, honestly speaking, but, you know, whatever, it gets it done. And hey, we even got some chain count score, etc. So here's the damage breakdown. I mean, the boss has 3 billion HP. Ibarra did 3.6. So, yeah, that was enough. Dark Rain, a little bit of extra, Coralie, a little bit extra, and I'll show you the gear, but that's the basics of the... Oh my god, I'm almost done. Got my ticket. I need one more ticket and I'm done farming. Okay, so, yeah, there's the clear, and again, swap it out for your favorite Dark or your favorite Fire damage dealer. So Cecil is on Phoenix to cast Re-Raise on turn 1. He also has the highest defense, very easy for Cecil to get that. I went maybe overboard, but whatever, doesn't matter. There, you don't need Pass or Provoke because the boss ignores Provoke. Status immunity, etc. Shift form, I mean, it's geared for Spirit. Honestly speaking, he could have been literally naked. As long as he's covering, he's gonna do what you need to do. And there we go. Cecil, just status immunity. Literally nothing else matters. She's a buffer. Dark Rain, you know, LB damage versus human, demon, and plant. There we go. He is status immune. You actually don't need full status immunity. You only need sleep, petrify, and confuse immunity. So there we go. Coralie in the base form, you know, status immunity. Using a dark weapon, keep that in mind as we seal the boss on turn 1. A little bit of Esperfill. Shift form is LB damage versus the combo. He did barely any damage, but hey, it was a little bit and it helped. But he's mostly the breaker. Renoa is using her Trust Mastery. Keep that in mind. Without that, you will not summon the field. A little bit of Esperfill, and then literally that's it. Support Chainer and Field Unit. Ibarra is using status immunity. There we go. And then, you know, LB damage versus the combo. And yeah, that was our simple clear. You know, you could also turn on more modifiers just for more points if you really wanted to. But once you stop OTKing it, turn the modifiers back off again. So there you go. Anyway, now for the rest of the weekend, I will be playing around with the boss, trying alternate strategies, and maybe we might even delay this boss until next week to see what new units we get. Because the Clash of Wills is actually 3 weeks long, so we've got I think 3 weeks, right? Yeah, 19 days remaining. So we're going to be getting more units in the next 2 weeks, which might make this a little bit easier to deal with. But in the meantime, I'm still going to play with it. So there it is. Okay, see you in a bit.